Hello, back again, your favorite author of the books of 9 and 10 Penance. Back again with another video with some more authorly advice. And tonight's topic's going to be fun, hopefully for you listeners out there. This one is on writing poetry. So if you're going to sit down and you're going to write a novel or a short story before you pour your heart into it, and I know a lot of people get stuck, or sometimes they just sit there on the first page and they don't know what to do. But what I like to do is I like to think of the narration ahead of time, and I like to think of the characters and the dialogue, especially with the first novel I did. There are two characters in that I was like, oh gosh, their voices are kind of similar. But I had already written a short story, so I knew that. And so before I wrote the novel, I had to distinguish those two characters. And a great way to do that is sit down and write a poetry or even just a poetic paragraph in how they might speak or how the narrator might speak, especially if you have a narrator that changes voices. Now, if you say to yourself, well, I don't write poetry, I don't write short stories, I'm going to tell you right now, from experience, being a writer is not for you. You should give up and walk away. Because if you're a writer, you should have no problems writing. That's just the way it is. Sorry. At least how I feel about it. But I wrote a poem that made it in the first book. Before I wrote it, it goes like this: the poet's pen is the poet's truth. For if the poet dies, then the poet's dream must have become real. And I always let that sit. And if I do this, sometimes I'll tape it up on the wall and let it sit there and I'll look at it. So if I lose direction, I lose voice, and I'm unsure how to continue forward, I can look at that poem or that paragraph that helps put me back on balance with the voice of the narration or the voice of the character. Well, anyways, I hope you learned something tonight. It's been exhausting. I've been doing this for 2.5 months now, posting a poem or writerly advice every night. So I'm going to probably scale back a little bit and maybe do this a few times a week. Anyways, have a good night. Thanks for listening.